Welcome to Motherhood and the Messy Middle, where grade school meets grown kids, hot flashes meets holy fire, and no topic is too messy for this village. I'm Robin.
I'm Nicole, and we're two moms who slid into each other's DMs, built a deep friendship without ever meeting in person, and now we're creating a virtual village where we're inviting you in. This is season 2, and we're continuing our mission of normalizing the messy middle through real, connecting conversations between two friends who are living it right alongside you.
We'll be experimenting this season with themed mini-series on topics like estrangement, difficult conversations, holidays, and personal growth, always with honesty, hope, and maybe even a little laughter. Because we know that motherhood and midlife, it can stretch you spiritually, emotionally, hormonally, sometimes all before breakfast.
So whether you're raising littles, navigating midlife, or just tired of pretending that you're fine, this space is for you. So let's dive in.
Well, we've hit the end of October, and there's some other endings we need to talk about today, Nicole.
Boo! I'm gonna cry already.
Yeah,
I brought tissues.
Yeah. I didn't bring any tissues, but it is like about to be Halloween. I don't know if you've seen my shirt, but for those of you, who are listening, I have a Halloween bluey shirt.
It's so cute.
Yes. So that will bring, I'll just wipe my snot on it, just like I'm a little child.
Yeah. Well, Robin and I have some things to share and kind of talk about today that will shape the future of motherhood in the messy middle. Robin, do you want to share a little bit about where you're at, or do you want me to kind of take the lead and share a little bit?
Yeah, let's just see where I go with this, right? Well, I'm really sad because this is going to be my last episode on the podcast. And I guess I want to start at the end, which is that Nicole and I have continued to really answer the call of God. And how that looks for each of us is different. So many things about us are different, but we've been connected on this soul, like spiritual level because we answer the call. And the nudges have been around how do we best serve women, mothers. And when we started this podcast, it was in a very different time. I mean, it was not that long ago, and yet so much has transpired for us as individuals and even in the world. Mm-hmm. The timeline just in general in life just feels like there's an acceleration, and being intentional and really practicing for me, what I call my spiritual fitness has allowed me to make decisions and then also quickly navigate when there's a greater answer. And one of the beautiful pieces that has emerged through all of this is, Nicole, you have found the community that you breathe life into. And that is moms that are walking through estrangement. And it's a space that it's devastating that it is needed. And yet in that energy, we have to lean into it and make sure that we're serving. And that's what we're here to do. And so though I am a holistic weight loss and wellness teacher, and I have incredible resources to help women, especially with regulating their nervous systems and releasing weight and really stepping into confidence and looking at, holistic health. And that does benefit women who are walking through estrangement. That's not the singular niche that is my area of expertise or experience. And not only is that anecdotal in us knowing that and faith-led, but we have data. We can look at our podcast episode downloads and we see that there is a need for a space where women feel safe and seen, which always was the intention of us starting this podcast. But through the beauty of just starting and partnering with God in that work, it now is more clear that motherhood and the messy middle is truly for the mother walking through estrangement.
Yeah. That was really hard. I similarly felt nudges, that was the direction it kind of felt like it needed to go or was naturally headed, and, it was hard because I don't really wanna do this without you, but I know it needs to be done, um, and it's an honor to be able to provide that space for women, but, um, I also know you have so much knowledge and wisdom that you serve women with all day long, and anyone who gets to be your friend or stand in your light gets to experience the beauty of all that you are, and by talking more about estrangement here, it doesn't feel like it's giving you that space that you need to be able to share all of your knowledge and encouragement with women that I mean, yes, women who walking any woman can use your resources, um, but they could be used in a different way with a different audience.
Yeah.
Mm,
And, something that in my aging I've had to learn is that just because we can doesn't mean we should.
should.
And when, there's always like that saying that you and I have learned as we've, stepped into entrepreneurship and like the online spaces, especially like when you're speaking to everyone, you're speaking to no one.
Mm,
And essentially by me being on the podcast, I'm depleting my own resources
mhm,
around time and energy and focus. And because I care so deeply and I'm so intentional in all that I do,
mhm,
um, and so, there are multiple levels of why this is the right time.
mhm,
And I just want to name that the thing that feels the hardest for me is that it is a loss, like for
mhm,
me, and you. And so there's grief and it's almost like still defined as like the ambiguous grief because it's not like I'm
mhm,
going away. I'm not, disappearing or anything like that. But what I know to be true as a woman who has walked through multiple forms of grief and loss is that grief doesn't go away and it just, you change. And yet when another piece comes up that strikes that chord, it can just feel very heavy. And I'm feeling that myself, and it makes me just want to say to everyone listening that that I really care about you, and I love you, and I'm a woman that hasn't dealt with estrangement and hopes that it doesn't ever happen. But I see you, and I'm loving you from afar and praying for you. And I just hope that you know that me stepping away from the podcast is not another loss. It's actually an opportunity to build an even more beautiful, fertile ground for the work that Nicole has. And my strength in life has been in this like relentless pursuit to seek belonging because that's a core wound for me. And Nicole, you've given that to me. And you have been able to show me things that I couldn't see myself. And even in the fact that we've had this friendship, that we haven't been in person together, and we were able to collaborate and build this podcast, the amount of support that we both have been able to show for each other, and growth and reflection, and even like for our family and our dynamics, our marriage, our parenting, our professional lives, all of it. That's the power of community. That's the power of doing things that make you want to have an accident in your pants, as you like to say, right? Saying yes to all of those things. And that includes even the things that make you very sad,
Right.
when you know that it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. The beauty of our friendship and my encouragement to everyone listening is you can create your village from
Mhm.
anywhere
Yep.
and from anything. And it, it takes time, it takes effort, but you can be a good friend to someone you met on the internet.
Hmm.
You can develop friendships that are deep. Our friendship is so deep, and we've never met in person, and that's wild. But you are one of my dearest friends who we will still record the whole thing when we meet, because we will meet. And I
Hopefully a retreat. That's like, that's my sweet
oh,
spot. I'm
yes.
actually leaving in a
Oh
couple
my
days
gosh.
to host the mindful nourishment retreat. It's the fourth one. And because you brought that up to me, outside of recording the podcast, Nicole was like, I didn't realize that you've, done this retreat before, and that you facilitate it solo. And I wrote down, I was like, how many have I done? And I told her 3 mindful nourishment retreats, and I was wrong. But honestly, I was walking through a season of grief, and I still kind of am, but it makes your mind do weird things. But um we even have a Google Doc where we're starting to plan some different pieces. And so
Yes. Robin, you'll have to be there because I don't know. I'm not the planner. I'm the type B's friend. I don't know. I mean, I'll be on time, but I'm usually a hot mess. Like nothing. Remember, there's no white picket fence here. It's all chaos. It's a circle. We've run over the white picket fence. It's all ridiculousness.
Nicole, there's no white picket fence anywhere.
I
Like the
know.
people that
Some
have
people
it,
still
it's a
think that there is,
facade.
though.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
And
a facade.
looping back to what you said too about like that, the listeners, that like we're evidence that you can truly create your village, even in virtual ways. Um, if you hear any noises, by the way, I have 2 teenage kitten boy cats who are huge and now 8 months
Massive.
old. And they were napping, and now it's like it's either sleeping, eating, pooping, or just like chaotic playing and biting and like all of this. So that's what's happening right now.
Robin sent me a Marco Polo the other day of the cats fighting. And I was telling her, and she was talking about like what had happened with their fight earlier. And I was telling her, like, this basically, because they're 2 boys, her cats are 2 boys, and I have 3 boys. And I said, this is basically what it's like raising human boys too. It's sleeping, eating, pooping, fighting. Like that's all it is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's really entertaining until you have to break it up, and then you're really scared because there's a lot of claws and teeth involved. But anyways, um, the thing that all of this reminds me of, and that I want to make sure that we highlight for everyone too, is there's a lot of noise in the world.
Mm.
My work focuses on ditching the toxic diet and hustle noise that it includes the wellness industry,
Mhm.
and really tuning into stepping into your own inner coach, right? And like learning to recognize the inner critic, and putting it in its place by shining light on it, and then allowing your inner coach to grow.
Mhm.
And it's like the world right now is that inner critic, and there's just so much noise and negativity and fear mongering, and there's even some bigger pieces around trying to keep that chaotic sense and dysregulated nervous systems because people purchase things during that time. You're right. We
Mm-hmm.
want to look for a quick fix and a solution. And there's also even our biochemistry. Like we get addicted to that rush of adrenaline and the rush of,
Mm-hmm.
dopamine on the social
Mm-hmm.
scroll, or adrenaline when we're creating a duality
Mm-hmm.
of people and of issues. And that's just not actually the world. And we're
Right.
proof of that.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we're not human. It doesn't mean we
Right.
don't, disagree on things. But if we all could just take a little bit longer of an exhale
Mm-hmm.
and be just 5% more intentional
Mm-hmm.
with our words and actions, including the care that we're providing for ourselves. The rush to fix, the rush to move on,
Mm-hmm.
it's doing a disservice to this human experience, which includes painful times.
Yeah. It's like we have said so many times, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Hmm.
We rush past things to fix them or for the dopamine or because we feel uncomfortable
Hmm.
one way or another. Something's upsetting, or grief, sadness, boredom, and we want to fix a quick fix. And the more we can get comfortable with just being uncomfortable and like you said, a slow exhale and a pause, there's a lot of peace that can come with that, a lot of clarity that comes with that. Yeah.
And the embracing too of it's it's not binary. It's not one or the other when we have human experiences. Even your community is between hope and heartbreak. It's not
Mhm.
one or the other. Sometimes they're both at the same time. Our
Mhm.
opening, for this podcast, which by the way, you're gonna have to re-record that on your own.
I know.
Don't worry, everyone. I will fully support Nicole in tying all of the little bows, and I'm gonna just randomly pop in and be like, "Hey, so how's that spreadsheet going for you?" I actually haven't been doing really effective data tracking lately, so I might need to clean some things up before I step away. But it's not one or the other. It can be an and. It can be
Yeah.
both, and it really can be that way for us as women. And we need to lean into the roots of where we came from, which is villages, communities, circles of connection.
Mhm. Which is like what you are doing in your work is creating your it's not I'm going back to the and part. Like the way that you teach mindful nourishment and ditching diet culture, you're not having to choose if you have a dessert when you go out to eat or not. You're creating an and in so that you can still be living life and not feel restricted, but you're setting yourself up for success in how your body feels and you're taking the time to meditate your soul and spirit and all of these different things that so often especially on social media we're just fed like here's a fad, here's a quick fix, here's a this will make you feel better and not addressing the whole picture. And I think that you do that really 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 beautifully.
Well, it's a humanity too, right? Like even you say meditation, and I almost like cringe a little bit because I think that like one of the biggest talks I've done over the years is around an introduction to meditation. And the first thing that I do is I debunk a bunch of myths around it,
Mhm.
including that you need to meditate for, huge amounts
Right.
of time every day. And that's not what it's about. It's about the frequency in which you can touch base with it. But, I also don't meditate every day. Like I've fallen out of routines um, and that's okay. It's all
Right.
okay. And that's where, even for us stepping into this podcast, it's been really challenging for me to market myself, not only because I come across to most people as very confident.
Mhm.
I have a lot of words. You know, the truth is that I have a high IQ. My therapist says that that's just a data statement. It's not an ego boost. And I tread carefully there because I am a recovering addict. And one of the biggest pieces for me around recovery is really checking my ego and making sure that I have humility. And um so there's like the personal stuff around that, right? And that I can show up with the confidence that people think that I have, but truly inside of me, there's been a lot of imposter syndrome, and I've gone through a really, really tough life. But the
Mhm.
last several years have been really hard, and my healing has been really rapid as well. And alongside doing all of that, I've created my own curriculum. I'm not selling someone else's products or
Right.
programs. It's everything that I've created that's based on research validated science alongside
Yeah.
all sorts of eclectic spaces around spiritual, indigenous,
Mhm.
wisdom, Christian
Mhm.
mysticism. Like, I mean, there's so much and it's so
Mhm.
deep.
Mhm.
And it's really in my neurodivergence, it's really hard for me to create like a quick, simple message when the work that I do is so deep and when I've been dealing with worrying more about how other people perceive me or if they don't get it right, right? Like
Yeah.
if they don't understand like, oh, she's a like when I got I wasn't elected. I was appointed to the school board for 1 year to fill a seat. And I will never forget when the newspaper came. It's really something when you're in the newspaper, right? It's just like something. And I'm a boomer inside, even though I'm technically a geriatric millennial. I'm like the oldest millennial that you can be, but I feel inside more like a boomer. And I get this newspaper, and underneath it's my picture, and it says Robin Richards, health coach, appointed to school board. And I was like, wow, that's what I'm, those two words. And I'm so much more.
Yeah.
You know, I had 13 years in public education and I didn't, not that it's just teach at all, but I was teaching and coaching sports, coaching with academic teams, you know, multiple school districts, multiple states, working for state departments of education, relentlessly pursuing, you know, getting my master's degree, my curriculum specialist degree. And yet I say those things because they don't actually mean anything to me. Like they don't.
Mhm.
And that's why it's not that they don't mean anything, like the work and all of that I put in, but that doesn't define me. Like degrees, I've walked and gotten degrees alongside others who, let me tell you, like you wouldn't necessarily want to be in their classroom or have
Mhm.
them construct curriculum for you. And it's not, I'm not any more special or worse than anyone else. I just have been given a path where I can't see any other way out than through and
Mhm.
synthesizing information to make it personalized and utilizing, you know, what's best in education practices and human growth and development and applying it to wellness. And it's because
Mhm.
I need it and I
Mhm.
live it, but I've also been able to craft and create it alongside others. And that feels really good. So yeah, I'm not just a health coach, but I have landed at my words now. I'm
Mhm.
your holistic weight loss and wellness teacher.
Mhm.
Um, and I would really love if you are interested in learning ways that support women in merging science and soul so that you can ditch diet and hustle culture so that there's a release of weight. But see, it's not just a physical weight, it's also the mental load, it's an energetic weight. There's multiple layers. And yet I make it so that wherever you're at, you can access immediate relief as well as begin building what I call investment practices that pay huge dividends in the future. And while you do that and you are supported, you then can not only sustain the progress that you make, but
Mhm.
when you need, you can scale it. And that's so important for me because I feel I don't want to throw a pity party because I'm not in that space, but it's just a reality that I have had more challenging seasons in my life than I've had ones of stability and ease. And so I've had to create ways to still access joy and to switch my addiction to the only one that I know is the best that there can be, and that's hope.
Mm.
So I'm very sad um, to be stepping away from the podcast, and yet I feel clear.
Yeah.
I feel clear. Except sometimes I'm not clear in like lots of things that I say. But if you want more clarity, I have to get clear when I put things like on my website. So you can go to
Mm-hmm.
robinswellness.com and
Mm-hmm.
see that. And I don't know, Nicole, that I'm not going to ever be on here again because I
Well,
think that there might be some
yes.
spaces for that.
Well,
Um,
yes, that's what I was thinking too, kind of as you were talking. Um, just thinking about wanting to share a little bit. Like there's a lot of things that I'm still getting clear on and what the future of the podcast will look like. It will still be here, it will still exist. We will be talking more on topics of estrangement, essentially, really, and everything that falls in between. But I think that and my goal would be is to do interview styles. And so I feel like there will be multiple opportunities for you to come on when we're talking about certain topics because you have so much wisdom in so many different areas that I think, well, that I know women need and benefit from. And so you 100%, as long as you will accept my invitation, you
Absolutely.
like,
One thing I would really love to give to your community and that I really love doing for women is creating meditations
mm,
that help to regulate your nervous system and also rewire your brain
mhm,
for healing and for hope while you're in the heartbreak. And
mhm,
so when you're ready for that, you let me know and we can even do a live recording of it, whatever it is that fits for you. And I just really love that we are leaning into space, and by by me stepping away, it gives essentially, right? It's releasing
mhm,
and creating space, and that I would love for you to talk more about what they can expect,
mhm,
um, even if it's not known, right? Like,
mhm.
is there going to be an episode next week? What do you think?
So I was talking outside of the podcast with Robin about this because I feel like the reason I would be dragging my feet if I don't start recording right away is out of fear because it's easy to sit back and in the audience of social media and all the things and you see people doing these, growing a platform and they have this product that they're selling, but there's a lot of vulnerability
Mm.
in the
Oh,
work that
yeah.
we do and this
Oh.
solopreneurship, and we're doing it alone. And so when those doubts get really loud,
Mhm.
there's not a coworker to call.
Mhm.
And even before we did the podcast, Robin became that coworker for me, that cheerleader in the corner of like, "Okay, let's problem solve it," or, "Okay, keep going. Don't stop doing the work that you're doing because you've hit a roadblock or a speed bump." And she became my cheerleader, and you're still gonna be my cheerleader, sorry, you're committed for life.
Oh,
But,
yeah, I'm committed, and I need you
so
too.
so, it's nerve-wracking to do on my own because it's just another step, and there's been lots of steps of vulnerability. I feel like I feel like I'm standing on the cliff of this huge chasm, and I'm butt naked and completely vulnerable and raw, but, like, excited and exhilarated, but also, like, totally freaked out that I might fall. But what if I fly, right? It's like this I feel like it's a relatable analogy, and so not recording right away would be, I think, just me letting fear have a place. And the motto that I use, it is not pretty at all, and it's really terrible, but it is mine and I own it. My motto for fear over the last 2.5 years has been, if it makes me feel like I'm gonna vomit or poop my pants, then my answer will be yes, because I don't want fear to stop me from an opportunity because I was scared. And so I'm planning on, but because I still have a job Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, I need to batch episodes so that I'm not trying to make sure I feel like I'm cramming something in.
Right,
And so,
especially you still have 3 children that are in your
right,
home, and
right.
so many variables happen, right? With our energy, with
Yeah,
illnesses, with,
right,
your husband is working and can get deployed if there's a natural
right,
disaster. I mean, there's
right,
so much. And so it's really powerful to have that batching.
right. So my goal will be to continue. There might be a week or two where there's no episode because I will be batching. But I'm gonna commit myself to there will be no more than a 2-week break.
All right. You heard it
Okay,
here,
I
ladies.
2 weeks, and then we'll be back because that will be more than enough time to batch. Part of that could be a little hiccups is that I would like to do some interviewing. Maybe I don't get those all done. I don't know. I have to plan it out. Maybe I just record a bunch of solo things, and then as I can interview people, I pop them in so they're not so I still haven't batched. I don't know what that looks like. Y'all don't need to know that necessarily, but I'm gonna give myself a 2-week break to record, batch record, and then be back.
And so, what I would recommend to everyone listening is let's help out Nicole and send
Mm,
her ideas for what you
love it.
really want support around. And so you can send those over to Nicole Coates at hello@nicolecoates.com. But when we're building these things as women who are called to help support and build community, this is not about power over, it's power with.
Mm,
And just holding the space. We always need a leader who's going to create the container. But the difference between like a patriarchal, like stifling is
mm,
when it's power over, and that is then a hierarchy where
mhm,
when you're about community, that means together and circles and connections. So let's help out those that are holding the space for us and ask for what we need. And what I have to be really honest about is, wow, that's probably the hardest thing we can do for self care is
mhm,
identifying and then asking for what we need, reaching out to someone
mhm.
else. But a
Yeah,
stranger on the internet is a lot easier than the person in your
true.
neighborhood. So,
It's
and then
very
look where
true.
that can develop and become.
Mhm, mhm.
Hmm.
Okay, Robin, remind everybody, what I would love for everyone to do is join there's so many things that Robin does that I would love for you to be able to participate in
But
because you
now
get
that I'm
so much
clear,
out of.
Nicole, let me tell you exactly where to start is the four
Okay,
day
there we go.
reset. Yep, the
Yeah.
4-day reset. And you can go to robinswellnest.com and you will see on there that right away there's going to be a button you can click on and you'll be able to get to the 4-day reset, learn more about it. But essentially, you pay a one time cost. And I'm sorry, you did just miss the founding member rate, but um, there when you get in there, you pay a one-time cost and you have lifetime access, and it's to an entire platform that provides you with a workbook that takes you every single step of the way, as well as multiple videos where you can
Mhm,
watch them in the morning and the evening that help you to build a foundation that allows you to release weight and reclaim energy without overhauling your life. So
mhm,
you could start that literally tomorrow if you purchased it today.
mhm,
All you would that you would do is want to get in and access, so you know where to get everything within the portal. And I hold your hand virtually every step of the
mhm.
way.
She really
And you
does.
have every option of, if you only like reading, fine, do it in the workbook. And there's also words within each day
Mhm,
on the web pages of the portal. If you like video, cool. I have videos. You can even double speed them. If you like audio, you prefer podcast, probably because you're listening to this. I have audio of it that you can listen
mhm,
to. And in addition, I've included multiple bonus resources around supporting how to understand reading a nutrition label, and you're building a foundation of the 4 M's, which is meditation, mindfulness, meditation, mindset, mindful nourishment, and movement. And all four of them have a library of their own within the portal that have videos. So if you're like, I don't know what to meditate to, well, not only do I have a YouTube channel of free resources that you always can get to, whether or not you're in the reset. If you're in the reset, you have personalized for the reset meditations. You have movement. I've actually recorded videos where, oh, you don't want to
Mhm.
get up and move. Cool. I have a chair yoga
Mhm.
session.
It's really
Um,
meeting everybody where they're at.
yeah, you want to learn more about this mindset thing? Awesome. I have some different like little mini lessons and lectures
Mhm.
within there. And the beauty is that I'm going to keep building on it and
Mhm.
offering opportunities once you're in to be able to know when different VIP events happen where I'll be running, live resets because the reality is as women, and for me, I'm about to turn 43 next month, but I have been in premature menopause. So I'm postmenopausal. We still need to tune into a 28-day cycle, even if we don't have a menstrual cycle. And that's where I leverage the power of, because it's fun. Like my teenage self comes out, the moon. And the real power, though, is in bringing the 4-day reset into a monthly practice because it helps you to assess and realign. And that's only the first part of four
Mhm.
parts of the Balance Your Body method. So when I say that I'm here to meet you where you're at and to continue to support you, I'm not messing around. Like this
Mhm.
is, and it's not about me doing it for you. It's about teaching you the things that then, you know what I want you to do? Teach it to your girlfriend, teach it to your child, teach it to your neighbor, because the power of practices that work for real life while still
Mhm.
enjoying real life, including
Yeah.
food, is that we can then show up and shine and others can join us in that. And we're not no longer just falling essentially victim to the pain points that are pushed on people just promoting their products over what really works, which is
Mhm.
personalized solutions. So I
Well,
hope
that
to see you all over there, and I will definitely be back at some point when it is aligned with Nicole. But don't you worry, Nicole and I, our Marco Polos will be hot, and
oh, yeah.
our text
Piping with
messages.
tea and all the things, life updates and kid updates and all of the things. That our friendship is not going anywhere. It's just not on a podcast anymore,
That is
which is
correct.
really a shame for the whole world because we are very entertaining.
Yeah, we are
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah, we
Sometimes I'm
are.
like,
We're
is
hilarious.
anyone else as weird as we are? Um,
No, I don't think so. Well, maybe actually, yes, it's true, but they don't I don't know. We just embrace it. I feel like some people just try to hide it. Just let your weirdo flags fly.
let the weirdo out.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we're weirdos. I guess maybe I should have said that. But I don't know. I think we are. I embrace it.
Well, you're my
I love
weirdo,
you.
and I love you too.
I love you. Thanks for going on this journey with me. I wouldn't don't know if I would have started without you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know if I would have either. And the future is bright, my friend. So until
Yep.
next time,
Okay. Bye, friend.
bye.
Bye, guys.